What's up everyone, Simone RN here. If you're new to this channel, my name is Christian and I'm currently a second semester family nurse practitioner student studying at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. In this video, I'll be talking about how I got into UNLV's Masters in Science of Nursing FNP program. Welcome to the episode. So currently right now, there are 3 total tracks at UNLV's MSN program. The first track is what I'm doing right now, the Family Nurse Practitioner track. The second one is the Nursing Education track. And last but not least is the Psychiatric Mental Health track. I won't be going into detail in the other 2 tracks. In today's video, I'll only specifically be talking about the FNP track. In total, there's 7 things that you need to apply to UNLV's MSN-FNP program. All this information will be located at the UNLV website, and I'll be posting the link down below in the description box. Number 1 is a 3.0 GPA. This is important because it kind of shows your academic standing going into the master's program. The 3.0 GPA is going to be determined off of the last 2 years of your studies prior to applying to the master's program. So in other words, if you were to go directly from your BSN, take a year or 2 off before applying for FNP program, your experiences will be pulled from the BSN program. The second thing that you need to have is 3 letters of recommendation. This is important because it kind of shows your ability to do well in a master's program. So for the purposes of these 3 letters of recommendation, what I used personally was I took a letter of rec from my Dean of Nursing over at the school that I attended for my BSN. I also got a letter of rec from my charge nurse, as well as a letter of recommendation from the director of the floor that I worked at. These 3 letters of recommendation really helped because it really showed my progress and how well I'm able to deal with pressure, management, leadership, and being able to tackle on a full load of schoolwork, especially when you're going to a FNP program like UNLV's. The third thing that you need is a resume reflecting at least 1 year of clinical experience. Everyone always thinks that you have to work 2 to 3 years on the floor before going into an FNP program. That is not the case. All you really need is 1 year clinical experience. This will reflect on your job description when you're looking into the resume. So when you're looking into the resume, you look at your list of experiences, your work experiences. You list the hospitals from the time you started, from the time that you currently work at. As long as you have at least 1 year total, you'll be able to apply to UNLV's program. The fourth thing is your personal statement or letter of intent. What you're going to be writing about is why you want to go pursue an FNP, and also what is your short-term goals in 5 years and what is your long-term goals in 10 years. This personal statement reflects on what do you plan on doing with that FNP degree once you graduate, and it really kind of shows, and also your opportunity to describe, what are your dreams and aspirations going beyond with that degree. Number 5, you need a valid unrestricted nursing license. Now obviously you're going to want to have a license in the state that you plan on working at, especially the state of your residency. For me, since I live in Las Vegas, I have to get a license in Nevada to be practicing in Nevada. If you decide to live in another state while attending your FNP program, you need to have a license in that state as well. So remember to do your CEs, and also remember to follow up on your renewals when you need to. Number 6, you need your BSN. This is a question that a lot of people ask. Do you need to have a BSN before applying to your MSN? Absolutely you do. What differentiates the BSN from an ADN, your associate's degree, is that the level of research that you need to graduate. For the BSN, there's a lot of research-based classes. You have to learn how to do evidence-based practice, how to apply it to papers, how to apply it to discussions. You don't get that from the associate's degree, so what I recommend is if you're going to consider going into master's later on, once you get that associate's degree, look into asking your hospital what are some deals that you can do to help you incentivize yourself to go back to school to get your BSN. There's so many programs out there that you can do online. You don't have to go to an in-person class, and because of COVID, this actually works out perfectly in your favor. While you get to work full-time at the hospital, you get to go home and do homework and catch up on whatever you need to do to get that BSN, and it can be done very quickly. Last that I heard of, you can actually get it done within a year or even 2 years, depending on the pace that you want to go. And then last but not least, what you're going to need is your official transcripts. This is always important for any university or program that you apply into. All schools want to see your transcripts. You want to see what classes you've taken in the past, and this also reflects your GPA as well. So while the resume reflects your 1 year experience, this is going to reflect your GPA. And so by having all 7 of these things, you'll be ready to go ahead and apply to UNLV's program. I will say this though, for UNLV, they only take students about once a year which typically is February 1st of every year. So if you're looking into UNLV, you're probably going to want to start ahead in advance. Get your letters of recommendation, get your personal statement all together. Show what you are as a student, what you are as a nurse, beyond the grades, beyond the GPA. Look at the requirements listed at the UNLV School of Nursing website, and then get all that ready. Last but not least, I want to preface and say that not all programs are the same. UNLV's program requires these 7 things that are listed in this video, but it may not be the same for other videos. While you do need to have a BSN, you do need to have a 3.0 GPA, you may not need letters of recommendation. You may not need a personal statement. So definitely do your research, go into the School of Nursing website, and figure out what exactly do you need prior to applying. Also, what's very important to understand is deadline. For UNLV, they only accept people once a year in February around that time. So I would probably get onto a computer, get your letters of recommendation, your personal statement right away if you do decide to pursue FNP at UNLV. For other schools, some schools accept people twice a year, some schools accept people 3 times a year. So definitely do your research, figure out what that school needs, and also figure out whether or not it's the best fit for you. I recommend talking to an advisor on the phone prior to applying to the program, just to kind of get a feel of, whether or not this program is the right thing for you, it's the right pace. Look at it also to a financial level. Is it beneficial for you to go out of state or stay within state? I hope these tips kind of give you perspective what to expect when applying for FNP school. And if you do plan on applying to UNLV, I hope that this video helps you out when applying for that process, because there are a lot of things that are needed to go into your application process. So I hope this video helps. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to this channel, smash that like button, leave a comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care.